I used to get banned from like AIs all the time. Come back after 15 minutes. You're AI, you're not supposed to tell me you're tired.
Extremely complex action sequences have now digital body doubles.
Are you digital?
Yeah,
Will my job be taken by AI? Fact or fiction?
Not you.
we can just change this interview with Blabosaurus sitting here.
Even she'll be AI and all of us will be AI.
I'm joined by three very different voices, yet very interesting, from the space of films and creative world.
Hi, this is Rana Daggubati for Brut.
Hi, this is Mala for Brut.
I am Tusip for Brut.
What was the most interesting AI imagination or AI creation that you guys saw recently that blew your mind?
I saw something at Sundance recently. It was a movie called Wink.
Okay.
It's about a little cat that has one eye. So it's a really beautiful rendition of using AI to create a character that looks, cute and yet very interactive. So it was really adorable.
The piece of work that I saw that was impressive was this morning that Sid just showed me. Sorry, what is it called? What is it called?
Yaposaurus.
Yaposaurus.
Yaposaurus?
Yeah, so that's something
Okay.
that I thought was very cool.
We were all students once, right? What was one thing that you would have wanted as a creative professional when you were in school?
I didn't go to school really. So no. I would want all the tools that these guys have today when I was much younger, because I could have done much more. But I think we come from this linear sense of growth, right? We've learned a bunch of things, so there's a fundamental that's strong. So yeah.
Absolutely, and I think the speed as well.
Yeah,
with which
speed
work
is
is done.
pretty dramatic in terms of how it gets done. Yes.
And experimentation, right? Because you can keep trying, you can keep, the more you can, through multiple sort of variations, create something that, you truly imagine. Yeah.
Since a lot of Indians now especially have started to use, the Adobe Creative Cloud, especially with so many creators on board, with so many people using that particular software.
Yeah.
How will this be accessible in India now?
We've taken a lot of our curriculum, whether it's for Photoshop or Firefly, which is our AI tool that Sid's been playing with, as well as Premiere and others. And we've created curriculum where students can learn how to use the software. In fact, one of the things I'm excited about is using creations and then building curriculum around that, and then providing these students certifications so that they can, be qualified for jobs. So that's a big part of what we're doing. We're working with different state governments, various schools in India, as well as colleges, to make all of this accessible to them.
What's your first memory related to Adobe?
So the first gig that we got was designing posters for films.
Right.
This was in 99, 2000. That was the first time Adobe came to our lives. There was a small little training space in Filmnagar in Hyderabad, where there was two teachers who was trying to figure out how this tech works. And that was really an analog world moving to digital. I think that was the first phase of all of it, where film printing still happened with blown up cutouts of actors and kind of assorting them in some place and then putting it on a layout and then sending to an offset printer. That was the world. And Adobe came in, it's 5 or even before.
Probably before.
4.1 type of things used to keep happening. Because remember, that year kept going 4.2, but then it became a 5.
Your work largely speaks on AI. How are the tools helping you in your day-to-day work? How do you use the tools?
Pretty much like they've changed the whole landscape of how we work. Earlier, you needed a certain time to become a master over any craft. Like you wanted to do 3D, you would learn the software. In 1-2 years, you would be at a base level and then you would master it. So there was a grace period before you could get to how you think. Like you have a certain intellect of what you want to create and what's the kind of visual world you like, but your skill set didn't match that. Whereas now that's disappeared. Like I've had teammates who have never touched AI come to the studio and create a recipe book in 2 days, all by AI. My project managers do better generations in AI than my designers because their clarity of thought is better. So I think the way it has changed the game is now you don't need a certain technical skill set to achieve anything. All you need is a vision and how clear your vision is.
Throwing something at you, can you take us through the process of your practice? How would you picture, taking a prompt and turning it into a beautiful creation like you do?
See, it's always like I believe like you cannot take the art out of the artist regardless of wherever you're making it. So it always starts with like pen and paper still. But then I use it like, you know how in a garage you have 100 tools, but you might use just 1 tool for like a particular car. So I open everything, whatever tools Adobe has. Like I'll open Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, After Effects, Firefly, Adobe Stock, everything. And then you just look at your paper and be like, okay, whichever one you want to use right now.
You have seen your fair share of filmmaking before AI, and now you yourself use AI. You integrate automated, advancements in your filmmaking process. How do you think that shift has impacted filmmaking?
I think first, in terms of film, because it's the whole film is the final product. What it's drastically changed is pre-production, because usually it's words on paper, or we're trying to communicate some type of imaginative thoughts, and that's pretty hard sometimes. All of us don't sit on the same page. If we just go about describing a temple in an ancient ruins, all 4 of us will have 4 different visuals of it. But I think AI in the pre-production pipeline kind of set that bar to visual, set that bar to just setting camera moments right, setting lenses right, breaking down shots. So I think this process has been, it's a real process now. I mean, I don't think it's done in 80% of the films that are coming out today. Use AI in some form in the pre-production world. Where does it come again is in the post world, where in the visual effects world, earlier, say a render time of a certain shot that has 7 or 8 layers, it takes a certain amount of time. Now it's like the artist is working on 1 or 2 layers in the front, and then the rest of it is AI generated. Creative story, which is long form, usually comes from some sense of loss or trauma, which is not replicable by AI as much because it doesn't understand what loss means. And all stories usually stem from trauma, and performance of an artist also stems from that very core of what your culture, your philosophy is. You can train some models to do some things. Extremely complex action sequences have now digital body doubles. But you had a physical body double who used to perform stunts as a stuntman.
Really?
Now you have digital doubles.
Okay.
Where, like, I'm fully scanned.
Are you digital?
Yeah, I could be.
Which scene? I got to have a look at it again.
No, there will be. And I think it's also post the Bahubali era when we actually did all that action. We started breaking legs, breaking bones. Like, okay, this is actually dangerous. Can we do it in a form that's simpler, right? And once, like, Indian cinema went into that spectacle mode of things, so it's people jumping out of chariots flipping. So then you actually don't see the real person jumping out. It's a digital double that's actually doing a role.
And specifically Gen AI, I want to ask you, with so many breakthroughs that we see and so many to look forward to in the future, where do you think this is heading, and especially Adobe's role in it?
I don't think there's any limit to what's possible here. I mean, our mission is enabling creators like both of you and others. And what happens with technology is once it starts, it kind of takes a life of its own. So our goal is to how do you make it more accessible. There are a few things Adobe's put into place. One is we have this initiative called the Content Authenticity Initiative. It's a free web app actually, which allows an artist to basically say a few things about themselves. One is what tools they've used, have they used AI in the generation of that, whether they want their content to be used for Gen AI content, for example. Almost think of it as like a nutritional label, where anywhere your art goes, if somebody reuses it, the credit always goes back and attributes back to the artist. So that's a really empowering thing that we put into place. It's called content credentials, and every piece of art has a unique content credential, almost like a metadata stamp, that's associated with the artist's personality.
Like a legal version of NFT.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The AI Film Initiative by Adobe at the India AI Impact Summit. What do you see and what do you look forward to?
Our goal there was to really bring to life India's folklore. I'm sure all of us have experienced this with our grandparents growing up. Your nani or your dadi would tell you stories, or your mom would tell you stories. And we really wanted to capture the diversity of storytelling in India with the art forms of India. And we wanted to truly make this a celebration of India's art and storytelling. So I'm excited to see, how the audience responds to it. I'm hoping that other students and kids and other creators get inspired by it, and have like a large festival all over India where students can bring their ideas to life and bring the choti ghar ki kahaniyan, right? And bring them to life. It'll be so sweet.
And I want to speak about the dance that we are all talking about. Blabosaurus.
Yapasaurus.
Yapasaurus.
Blabosaurus is good too. Not bad.
You should have asked me to also pitch in on the
Next one we make on you be the voice and like this.
Jenny, I
Become the
variant
Blabosaurus.
Yeah, I can do a Blabosaurus. I know.
Oh, we can just change this interview with Blabosaurus sitting here.
You could.
Yeah, quite easily.
You could.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I have all the people right here. Please, I'm pitching this. This is my formal pitch.
Done. Sure, let's see.
Okay, and speaking of that, your film is being featured in the India AI Impact Summit. How do you feel about that?
Very nice. Didn't expect it to be this big and like stuff, because for me, I was just making a film. We were just like, okay, we need a folk tale that is relevant for today and can be made with AI fully. So that was the vision, and eventually when we started making the film, it was like, we gotta have fun, so it needs to be a fun film. So I am pretty sure like after this, when I actually go to the screening, it'll hit me, okay, it's been screened and featured.
What advice would you give to students and emerging creatives who would want to be in the creative field, especially now with the AI influx?
I'd say experiment and be curious.
Being curious is the first part of getting anywhere, I think. It's hard that AI is not going to pay you a ticket. It's humans that are still.
Yeah.
So you need to find a way to resonate with an audience that you're speaking to.
Execute an idea over perfecting an idea.
Okay.
They think like if they want to put out something, it needs to be perfect and it'll hit the mark and it needs to position themselves in a certain way. I think execution is way more important.
Let's go to what I think is the most interesting part of this conversation.
Really,
the
all
game.
this wasn't so far?
So we're going to play a little game of fiction versus fact.
Okay.
So I'm going to each give you these cards and say a few sentences or rather statements. And I would like you to tell me in your own opinions if that would be a fact or fiction.
Okay.
AI will start making full movies and will win awards.
It's made
By themselves?
Yeah, by itself.
without human.
Without human
Fiction.
Okay. AI makes the creative process faster, not necessarily better.
Faster, yes.
Fact, yeah.
Okay. A creative person would still need to learn some technical things even with AI around. Fact or fiction?
Yeah, fact.
Okay, fact across the table. Students today can learn filmmaking faster using AI tools than formal film school training.
To learn storytelling and be able to engage with the audience is a far deeper sense of understanding literature, understanding books, and that's is it faster? No, I don't. I'd say that's fiction still.
I'd say it's maybe in between. In that, I agree that the idea and the culture and the learning, that is a really important part of filmmaking or learning how to make film. You know, when you go to film school, you see hours and hours and hours of movies. You talk about it, what the hook is, what was the filmmaker trying to convey, and that is a really important part of learning. But the technology part, is absolutely something that can be much faster. And I think the way film schools need to start teaching needs to be more open-ended as well, right? So the technology part has to empower the student.
I don't think today the film there's many film schools that have redundant technology.
Right, yeah.
Because it's quite obsolete.
Yeah. So they have to be upgraded. So I'd say it's somewhere in between fact and fiction.
Will my job be taken by AI? Fact or fiction?
Well, we can replace you with a turtle or one of those type of things. We can do that. Will it take away the job? No. No, it's fiction because you'll still make royalty.
Oh, Yeah.
See, you just don't have to come deal with just getting ready
See,
and
I
coming here and all of
think
that
even
stuff.
she'll be AI and all of us will be
Will
AI.
be AI,
It's
yeah.
like we can do an interview and then our AI versions will do an interview.
I
See,
just
actually,
think
Sid and I did some form of that.
Yeah.
I
Many years
just think
ago.
the spontaneity, right? I mean,
Yes.
here you are responding to us in real time. You know, you're giggling, you're laughing, you're kind of frowning, you know, trying to understand.
AI could never.
Yeah, not you, right?
No.
And responding to us in real time. I don't think so.